We live in a world full of distractions, a constant barrage of opinions, judgments, and comparisons. It's easy to lose sight of what truly matters when the noise of others' expectations drowns out your own voice. But here's the truth. The only person you need to compete with, the only person you need to impress is yourself. When you decide to focus on you, you make a commitment to your growth, your progress, and your vision, not based on anyone else's timeline, but your own journey. This focus isn't about selfishness. It's about self-respect. It's about understanding that your potential is too valuable to be scattered in every direction but forward. To focus on you until you win means to commit to the long game. It means showing up every day, not waiting for motivation to strike, but cultivating discipline and persistence. It's about learning from your failures without losing confidence. About finding clarity in your purpose even when the path seems unclear. Winning is not about immediate gratification. Winning is about consistency. It's about doing the small things that others won't do day after day, even when no one is watching, because you know that real success isn't a moment, it's a process. It's a series of deliberate actions rooted in belief and fueled by patience. So when doubt creeps in, when fear or uncertainty tries to steal your focus, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself that your vision matters. Remind yourself that the only person whose opinion truly counts is the person staring back at you in the mirror. Focus on your growth, focus on your mindset, focus on the habits that build your future until you win. Not because anyone told you to, but because you decided to. Because the greatest victory you will ever achieve is becoming the person you were meant to be in a world that constantly urges us to look outward, to compare ourselves with others, to seek approval, to measure success by someone else's standards. It's easy to lose track of what really matters, your own growth. Prioritizing your own growth means shifting your focus inward, turning your energy toward developing your skills, mindset, and character in a way that's true to you. It's a powerful decision that changes everything. When you prioritize your growth, you stop living your life based on other people's expectations or social pressures. Instead, you begin to understand that your journey is unique. Your experiences, challenges, and goals don't have to match anyone else's. This shift in perspective is essential because growth is not a competition with others. It's a commitment to yourself. Growth requires honest self-reflection. It demands that you take a hard look at where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. It's about recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses and being brave enough to work on both. It's easy to celebrate our wins, but it's just as important to face our limitations without shame or denial. This kind of self-awareness is the foundation of true growth. Focusing on your growth also means embracing a mindset of learning. It means understanding that no matter how much you know, there is always room to improve, to explore, and to evolve. It means being curious rather than complacent and open to new ideas rather than stuck in old patterns. When you adopt this mindset, challenges and failures become opportunities rather than setbacks. Every mistake, every obstacle is a lesson that pushes you further along your path. This journey is not about quick fixes or overnight success. Growth is slow and sometimes uncomfortable. It's about building habits that support your progress, habits of discipline, patience, and resilience. It means showing up even when motivation is low, trusting the process even when results aren't immediate. The people who achieve lasting success aren't those who sprint once and stop. They're the ones who keep moving forward, step by step, no matter what. Another important aspect of prioritizing your growth is protecting your time and energy. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to get pulled away from what truly matters. Prioritizing growth means saying no to things that don't serve your vision and yes to activities that nourish your development. It means setting boundaries and being intentional with how you spend your days. This might mean reducing time on social media, avoiding negative influences, or surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you to be better. Above all, prioritizing your own growth is an act of self-respect. It sends a powerful message to yourself that you matter. You are worth investing in. When you commit to your growth, you are choosing to honor your potential and take responsibility for your future. You're no longer waiting for someone else to give you permission or validation. You are becoming the author of your own story. This focus on growth naturally builds confidence. When you see yourself improve, when you witness the fruits of your effort, you start to trust yourself more. You begin to rely less on external approval because you know your value comes from within. This internal confidence creates a foundation that makes you resilient against criticism and setbacks, Ultimately, prioritizing your own growth is the best way to live a fulfilling life. It connects you with your purpose and fuels your motivation. It helps you become not just successful in the traditional sense, but truly whole and authentic. When you focus on growing, you become more capable of handling life's challenges, more compassionate toward yourself and others, and more aligned with your true potential. So in every moment you have, ask yourself, am I investing in my growth today? Am I choosing actions that move me closer to the person I want to become? When you answer yes, you are taking the most important step toward winning. Not just in one area, but in every aspect of your life. Consistency and discipline are the quiet forces behind every meaningful achievement. They are not flashy or glamorous, but they are essential. Many people dream of success, envision big goals, and get inspired in bursts, but few understand that the real power lies in showing up day after day, regardless of how they feel or what distractions come their way. To commit to consistency and discipline is to embrace the reality that progress is a slow, steady climb rather than a sudden leap. When you commit to consistency, you commit to being present in your growth journey no matter what. Some days you will feel motivated and energized. On those days, your work feels almost effortless. But other days, motivation will be absent. Fatigue will weigh you down and doubts will cloud your mind. It's on those tougher days that discipline must take over. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's what keeps you moving forward when motivation is fleeting. Discipline isn't about perfection or rigid control. It's about creating reliable habits and routines that align with your vision. These habits don't need to be monumental or dramatic. They can be as simple as dedicating a small amount of time every day to practice, study, or work toward your goal. Over time, those small, consistent actions build up and compound into massive results. This is the secret that many overlook. Success is less about big moments and more about repeated, focused effort. One of the most important aspects of discipline is understanding that it's a choice you make daily. It's choosing the harder path of effort over the easier path of comfort and distraction. It's saying no to procrastination, to shortcuts, to excuses. This choice is a form of respect toward yourself and your ambitions. When you are disciplined, you are honoring the vision you have for your life and refusing to let temporary feelings derail your progress. Consistency also builds momentum. When you show up regularly, you start to build a rhythm, a flow that makes the work feel natural and sustainable. Over time, your actions become automatic, no longer dependent on motivation or willpower alone. This momentum creates confidence because you begin to see progress. Each small win fuels the next step, and before you know it, you have moved much farther than you thought possible. Another critical part of committing to consistency and discipline is patience. Growth doesn't happen overnight. The most meaningful results often come from months or years of steady work. It's easy to become discouraged when you don't see immediate rewards, but discipline means trusting the process even when the outcome isn't yet visible. It's understanding that what you do today plants the seeds for tomorrow's success. Discipline also helps you maintain focus. In a world full of distractions, from social media to constant notifications to the endless demands on your time, it's easy to lose track of your priorities. But when you are disciplined, you create boundaries that protect your time and energy. You build systems that keep you aligned with your goals and prevent you from being pulled off course. This focus is invaluable because it turns your intentions into action. It's important to recognize that discipline and consistency don't mean you won't face setbacks or failures. They mean that even when you stumble, you get back up and keep going. Discipline gives you the strength to push through difficulties and keep your eyes on the prize. Consistency ensures that your efforts are not random, but purposeful and cumulative. Finally, committing to consistency and discipline transforms more than just your results. It transforms your character. It teaches you resilience, self-control, and integrity. When you learn to show up for yourself every day, regardless of external circumstances, you build a foundation of trust and confidence within. You become the person who can be relied on, not just by others, but by yourself. In the end, the path to winning is paved with countless small decisions to keep going, to stay consistent, and to practice discipline. It's not the dramatic moments, but the steady commitment to your vision that leads to lasting success. When you commit to consistency and discipline, you build the momentum, patience, and strength necessary to turn your dreams into reality, one deliberate step at a time. Success is rarely a sudden event. It's not a lightning strike or a stroke of luck. More often, it's a long-term process, a journey that requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to stay committed over time. Embracing the long-term process means understanding that real growth and meaningful achievement cannot be rushed. They take time to develop. And the sooner you accept this reality, the more peaceful and focused your journey will become. Many people want instant results. We live in an age of speed where everything feels like it should happen immediately. Fast answers, rapid progress, overnight fame. But life doesn't work that way, especially when it comes to building something worthwhile. The long-term process demands that you slow down and trust that every step you take, even the small or seemingly insignificant ones, are moving you closer to your goal. To embrace this process, you must reframe how you see progress. Progress isn't always visible or dramatic. Sometimes it's invisible. A lesson learned, a skill slowly sharpening, a mindset quietly shifting. These unseen changes are just as important as visible milestones. When you begin to appreciate the value of these subtle, incremental gains, you develop resilience against impatience and frustration. The long-term process also requires a shift in your relationship with time. You begin to see time not as an enemy or an obstacle, but as your greatest ally. Each day, week, or month becomes an opportunity to build momentum. You learn to value consistency because you realize that small efforts, compounded over time, create exponential growth. This understanding helps you stay motivated even when the end goal seems distant. Patience is a crucial part of embracing the long-term process. It's easy to feel discouraged when results don't appear quickly. The mind craves instant gratification, but real change doesn't happen overnight. Patience means accepting that setbacks, delays, and challenges are natural parts of the journey. Instead of giving up or rushing, you learn to trust that persistence will eventually pay off. Another important aspect of this mindset is focusing on the process rather than just the outcome. When you fixate solely on the destination, whether it's a promotion, a successful project, or a personal milestone, you can become discouraged if progress stalls. But when you shift your attention to the daily habits, the learning, and the effort you put in, you find meaning in the journey itself. This makes your work more enjoyable and sustainable. Embracing the long-term process also means preparing for a marathon, not a sprint. You develop endurance. You build habits that support your goals for the long haul rather than quick bursts of energy that burn out fast. This sustainable approach protects you from burnout and keeps your passion alive over time. It's also vital to acknowledge that the long-term journey will have ups and downs. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and even failure. But these are not signs that you should quit. They are part of the process. Each challenge teaches you something new, strengthens your resolve, and deepens your understanding of your path. When you embrace the long-term process, you accept that growth often comes through struggle. Additionally, the long-term mindset helps you develop a deeper sense of purpose. When you commit to the process, you are saying that your goal is worth the time and effort it takes to achieve it. This commitment gives you clarity and direction, helping you prioritize what matters and eliminate distraction. Finally, embracing the long-term process transforms how you define success. Success is no longer a single moment or achievement, but a continuous journey of improvement and growth. It becomes a way of life, a mindset that guides your decisions and actions every day. In the end, the key to winning is not speed, but endurance. It's the willingness to keep moving forward, one step at a time, trusting that the work you do today lays the foundation for the victories of tomorrow. When you embrace the long-term process, you become unstoppable. Not because you rush to the finish line, but because you keep running no matter what. Failure is something many fear, avoid, or try to ignore. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It's an essential part of the journey toward it. When you shift your mindset to see failure as a learning opportunity, you unlock the power to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Instead of being defeated by setbacks, you begin to embrace them as necessary steps on the path to winning. Failure happens to everyone, no matter how talented or experienced. It's part of being human. What separates those who ultimately succeed from those who give up is not the absence of failure, but how they respond to it. When you use failure as a learning opportunity, you choose to see each setback as valuable feedback rather than a final verdict. The first step in this mindset is accepting failure without shame or fear. It's natural to feel disappointed or frustrated when things don't go as planned, but these feelings don't have to define you. Instead of avoiding failure, welcome it as a signal that you are pushing your limits, trying new things, and stepping outside your comfort zone. Failure means you're in the arena, actively pursuing your goals. Once you accept failure, the next step is reflection. Take the time to analyze what happened without judgment or blame. Ask yourself honest questions. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? What did I learn from this experience? This process turns failure from a negative event into a valuable lesson. It helps you identify mistakes, understand weaknesses, and discover opportunities for improvement. Using failure as a learning opportunity also requires resilience, the ability to bounce back and keep going despite setbacks. Resilience is built through experience. Each time you face failure and choose to learn from it rather than give up, you strengthen your mental and emotional muscles. You become more adaptable, more confident, and better equipped to handle future challenges. Another important aspect of this mindset is separating your self-worth from your failures. Your value as a person is not determined by your mistakes or setbacks. When you stop tying your identity to your failures, you free yourself to take risks, experiment, and grow without fear of judgment. This freedom is crucial for innovation and personal development. Embracing failure as a learning opportunity also encourages humility. It reminds you that no matter how much you know, there is always more to learn. This humility opens the door to continuous improvement. Instead of seeing failure as a defeat, you see it as a chance to refine your skills, sharpen your focus, and grow your wisdom. Importantly, failure often teaches lessons that success cannot. When things go well, it's easy to overlook potential problems or areas for growth. Failure shines a light on weaknesses or blind spots you might not have noticed otherwise. It challenges you to rethink your strategies and approach, leading to better decisions and stronger outcomes in the future. The process of learning from failure also builds patience. Growth and success rarely happen overnight. Failure slows you down, forces you to recalibrate, and encourages you to develop a deeper understanding of your goals. This patience is a critical component of long-term success, helping you avoid the trap of seeking shortcuts or quick fixes. Moreover, sharing your failures and the lessons learned can inspire others. When you openly acknowledge your setbacks and demonstrate how you turn them into growth opportunities, you create a culture of honesty and resilience. This openness encourages others to embrace their own failures and persevere on their journeys. Ultimately, using failure as a learning opportunity transforms your relationship with challenge and adversity. It changes failure from something to fear into something to embrace. It teaches you that every stumble is a step forward if you choose to learn from it. This perspective empowers you to take risks, stay committed, and keep moving toward your vision no matter how many times you fall. In the end, failure is not the enemy of success. It is one of its greatest teachers. When you learn to see failure through this lens, you equip yourself with the courage and wisdom necessary to win, not just once, but again and again throughout your life. In today's world, we are surrounded by noise, constant opinions, criticisms, distractions, and doubts that swirl around us like a storm. Social media, well-meaning friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers often have something to say about our choices, our dreams, or our abilities. This external noise can be overwhelming, confusing, and discouraging if we let it in unchecked. But to truly focus on yourself and your path, you must learn to ignore that noise and silence the doubt that it breeds. External noise is loud and persistent. It tries to pull you in multiple directions, telling you who you should be, what you should do, and how you should feel. Sometimes it comes as criticism disguised as advice, other times as unsolicited opinions or outright negativity. If you pay too much attention, this noise can cloud your vision and make you question your worth or your goals. It can distract you from your mission and sap your energy. And the challenge is to recognize that most of this noise is not rooted in your reality. It's someone else's perspective influenced by their fears, limitations, or misunderstandings. Ignoring external noise doesn't mean you close yourself off or become arrogant. It means you create a protective filter around your focus. It means you choose whose voices you let influence your mindset and decisions. This filter helps you stay connected to what truly matters, your values, your goals, and your own sense of purpose. When you let go of unnecessary opinions, you free your mind to concentrate on your own growth and direction. That is often the child of external noise. When others question your abilities or your vision, it's natural to start doubting yourself. Doubt is a powerful emotion because it can quietly undermine your confidence and halt your progress. But the key to overcoming doubt is understanding where it comes from and refusing to let it dictate your story. Doubt rarely comes from within your true self. It is often planted by external voices that don't see your full potential. To silence doubt, you must develop a strong inner voice rooted in self-belief and clarity. This voice is your true guide, reminding you why you started and what you are capable of. It speaks calmly but firmly, cutting through the chaos of noise and fear. Building this inner voice takes time and practice. It grows stronger each time you choose to trust yourself over external criticism. Another way to ignore noise and doubt is to focus on facts and evidence rather than emotions and opinions. Look at your progress objectively. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and remind yourself of the skills and strengths you've developed. This factual perspective helps you counter negative voices with reality and keep your confidence grounded. It's also helpful to surround yourself with supportive people who believe in your vision and encourage your growth. These positive influences act as a shield against the noise, providing clarity and encouragement when the outside world feels overwhelming. However, even with support, the ultimate responsibility lies with you to maintain your focus and trust your path. Mindfulness practices can be powerful tools in managing external noise and doubt. Techniques like meditation, journaling, or simply spending quiet time alone can help you reconnect with your inner voice and clarify your thoughts. When you cultivate this inner calm, it becomes easier to observe external noise without getting swept away by it. Ignoring external noise is not about dismissing feedback entirely. Constructive criticism, when given thoughtfully and with care, can be valuable. The difference lies in discernment, knowing which voices serve your growth and which distract or diminish you. This discernment is a skill developed through experience and self-awareness. Ultimately, ignoring external noise and doubt is about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your own story and no one else has the final say on your worth or your potential. It's about building resilience and mental strength so that no matter how loud the noise around you, your focus remains unshaken. When you master this skill, you create space for your true vision to flourish. You free yourself to pursue your goals with clarity and confidence. You learn to trust your journey regardless of what others say or think. In that space of quiet focus, you become unstoppable. Owning your vision and purpose is the cornerstone of a meaningful and fulfilling life. It means taking full responsibility for the direction of your life and the impact you want to make in the world. When you truly own your vision, you no longer wait for permission, approval, or validation from others. You become the leader of your own journey, driven by a clear sense of purpose that fuels your motivation and guides your decisions. Your vision is your unique picture of the future, a vivid image of what you want to create, achieve, or become. It is personal and deeply connected to your values, passions, and dreams. Owning this vision means accepting it fully, even if it feels different from what others expect or understand. It means being willing to stand firm when others question your goals or doubt your potential. Purpose, on the other hand, is the why behind your vision. It is the deeper reason that gives meaning to your efforts and sustains you through challenges. Purpose anchors your vision in something bigger than just achievement or external success. It connects you to a sense of meaning that fuels perseverance and resilience. When you own your purpose, you gain clarity about why your journey matters, not just to you, but potentially to others as well. Taking ownership of your vision and purpose starts with self-awareness. You must spend time reflecting on what truly matters to you, what excites you, and what legacy you want to leave. This reflection is often uncomfortable because it requires honesty and vulnerability. It asks you to sift through external expectations and societal pressures to find your authentic desires. But this process is essential because only when your vision and purpose come from your true self can they inspire lasting commitment. Once you have clarity on your vision and purpose, owning them means making choices that align with them consistently. It means saying no to distractions, opportunities, and influences that don't support your path. It means prioritizing your time and energy on actions that move you closer to your vision, even if those actions are difficult or unpopular. This alignment creates focus, which is critical for overcoming obstacles and staying on course. Owning your vision also means being proactive rather than reactive. Instead of letting circumstances or other people dictate your direction, you take initiative. You set goals, create plans, and take responsibility for your progress. This proactive stance empowers you because it places the control in your hands. You become the architect of your life, shaping your future through deliberate actions. Another important aspect is resilience. Owning your vision and purpose means that when you face setbacks, criticism, or failure, you don't abandon your path. You remember why you started and use your purpose as a source of strength to keep moving forward. This resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who give up when the going gets tough. Ownership also means celebrating your progress and being accountable. It requires acknowledging your wins, no matter how small, and using them as motivation to continue. At the same time, it means owning your mistakes and learning from them rather than blaming external factors or making excuses. This accountability deepens your growth and builds your integrity. When you fully own your vision and purpose, you become an inspiration to others. Your commitment and clarity create a magnetic energy that attracts support, collaboration, and opportunities. People are drawn to those who know where they're going and why. Your authenticity and dedication inspire others to explore and own their own visions. Finally, owning your vision and purpose brings freedom. Freedom from doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Freedom from trying to fit into modes that don't suit you. Freedom from living a life designed by others' expectations. This freedom allows you to live fully and passionately, embracing your uniqueness and potential. In essence, owning your vision and purpose is the foundation of lasting success and fulfillment. It is a continuous, evolving process that requires courage, clarity, and commitment. When you own your vision and purpose, you become unstoppable because you are guided by something deeper than external circumstances, something that comes from within and propels you forward no matter what